What Studios, and this is my podcast, What Makes You Smarter. It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do you go? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you could have me at your next event. Make your next thing a big one. I know if you're watching the video version of this, you will only see the next thing A behind me. All right, this week's shows, as I'm recording this on Sunday, I will be at the Cedar Lounge on Thursday evening, Cedar Lounge Bar and Grill in Morrilton, Arkansas, the video dance party, karaoke jam, good food, good drinks, good people at the Cedar Lounge from 6 to 10. Now, it's a couple days before Halloween, so I might do a soft Halloween show. I mean, it could be, if you want to wear a costume, hey, wear a costume. It's close enough. We're heading into the weekend. Halloween is on Saturday night. So, yeah, I think I'll probably dress up a little bit, and I'll let people know, hey, if you want to dress up a little bit, go ahead. You know, put a little something on there and celebrate some Halloween a little bit early. That way we don't have to have a costume day just one day out of the year. You can ramp up into the weekend. And then on Friday night, yeah, that one's going to be a Halloween costume party at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas, my usual Friday night gig. So Thursday night, I'll be at the Cedar Lounge in Morrilton, Arkansas, and then in Conway on Friday night at the Rab. Full bar, kitchen's open, the pool tables. There's a pool tournament on Friday nights, and yes, the boss said, "Hey, let's have a little Halloween, little Halloween party, a little costume party." So everybody get dressed up, show up, and we'll have a good time at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. Friday night, that starts at 8 p.m. and goes until about 1 a.m. So Thursday, Cedar Lounge, 6 to 10, and then Friday, Rab, 8 till 1 a.m. Yeah, your weekend plans are here. And then on Saturday, I have a wedding. So unless you're invited, you cannot come. Also, if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast, What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Now, on with the show. Today on the program, 10 things you need to know today for Sunday, October 25th, 2020. 10 things you need to know today. Number 1, several Pence staffers reportedly test positive for coronavirus. Vice President Mike Pence's chief of staff, Mark Short, tested positive for COVID-19 on Saturday. Pence spokesperson Devin O'Malley confirmed, adding that Pence and Second Lady Karen Pence both tested negative. The vice president is considered a close contact of Short, but O'Malley said he won't go into quarantine and will, quote, maintain his schedule in accordance with the Center for Disease Controls and Prevention guidelines for essential personnel, end quote. Another person briefed on the developments reportedly told the New York Times that three additional Pence staffers tested positive for the virus, but O'Malley did not immediately respond to a question about those cases. Meanwhile, Bloomberg reports that Marty Obst, a Pence advisor, also recently tested positive. Per Bloomberg, both Obst and Short are experiencing minor COVID-19 symptoms. This is according to the New York Times and Bloomberg. Number 2. Murkowski to back Barrett confirmation after losing procedural fight. Senator Lisa Murkowski, Republican Alaska, said Saturday that she will vote to confirm Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court when the Republican-led Senate takes up her nomination Monday. Murkowski broke with the GOP and opposed moving forward with the vote because of the proximity to the presidential election, but said, quote, frankly, I've lost that procedural fight, end quote. And, quote, I do not hold it against Barrett as an individual who has navigated the gauntlet with grace, skill, and humility, end quote. Murkowski's decision leaves Senator Susan Collins, Republican Maine, as the lone Republican expected to vote against Barrett this week. Collins's opposition is similarly based on her belief that the Senate should not vote to confirm a justice before the election. This is according to The Hill and Senator Lisa Murkowski. Number 3, Trump takes campaign to New Hampshire. President Trump will continue his busy campaign weekend with a Sunday trip to New Hampshire, a state that he lost narrowly in 2016. Reuters notes that it's not considered a, quote, top-tier battleground, end quote, and most polls show Trump's Democratic competitor, former Vice President Joe Biden, enjoying a comfortable advantage. But the Trump campaign is still hoping to flip the state as part of a last-ditch effort to close the gap in the race. Trump spent Saturday hosting rallies in 3 other key swing states, Ohio, North Carolina, and Wisconsin. In Ohio, Trump assured his supporters that, quote, we have 10 days and nothing worries me, end quote, despite what polls are suggesting about the outcome of the election. Biden doesn't have any official campaigning on the docket for Sunday, though he spent Saturday making his case in his native Pennsylvania. This is according to Reuters and the Boston Globe. Number 4, Trump told donors it could very... Trump told donors it could very tough for GOP to hold Senate. I think that was written wrong. It could be very tough for GOP to hold Senate. President Trump privately told donors this past Thursday at a fundraiser in Nashville, Tennessee, that he isn't sure the Republican Party will maintain its Senate majority after the upcoming election, the Washington Post reports. Quote, I think the Senate is tough, actually, end quote. Trump apparently said at the event, and an attendee told the Post on condition of anonymity. Quote, the Senate is very tough. There are a couple of senators I can't really get involved in. I just can't do it. You lose your soul if you do. I can't help some of them. I don't want to help some of them, end quote. Instead, the president reportedly said he believes the GOP will, quote, take back the House, end quote. Although many Republican officials and strategists consider that a long shot. This is according to the Washington Post. Number 5, at least 24 killed in suicide bombing in Kabul. At least 24 people were killed and 57 injured Saturday during a suicide bombing in Kabul, Afghanistan, the Interior Ministry said. The explosion occurred outside an education center in Dasht el-Barchi, a predominantly Shiite neighborhood in the western section of the capital, per the Associated Press. Most of the victims were students between the ages of 15 and 26, the health ministry said. The Islamic State, which said it was behind a similar attack that killed 34 students at an educational center in 2018, claimed responsibility for the most recent incident as well, although the militant group did not provide any evidence. The Taliban denied any involvement with the attack. This is according to BBC and Reuters. Number 6, Archbishop to become first Black American cardinal. Pope Francis on Sunday named 13 new cardinals as in an announcement from his studio window to those gathered in St. Peter's Square. Among those chosen by Francis was Washington, D.C. Archbishop Wilton Gregory, who Francis picked to lead the diocese last year. He is the first Black American to earn the title of cardinal. The decision was expected since Washington archbishops historically have been named as cardinals following their appointments. The 72-year-old Gregory will be eligible to vote for the next pope until he turns 80. The Vatican said the ceremony to name the new cardinals will take place November 28th. It's unclear if and how coronavirus restrictions will affect the process. This is according to the Washington Post and the Associated Press. Number 7, Spain declares nationwide state of emergency amid second coronavirus wave. Spain has declared a second nationwide state of emergency and ordered an overnight curfew across the country because of rising coronavirus infections, Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said Sunday. The Canary Islands won't be subject to the 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew. Spain's 19 regional leaders will have the authority to lengthen the curfew hours, close regional borders, and limit gatherings to 6 people who don't live together, the Prime Minister added. The previous state of emergency was declared in March, when the coronavirus first began spreading rapidly in Spain. That was lifted in June. The spread of the virus slowed after that, but Spain is now one of several European countries experiencing a second wave of cases. This is according to the Associated Press. Number 8, Samsung chair Lee Kun-hee dies at 78. Samsung chair Lee Kun-hee died Sunday, the South Korean electronics company announced. He was 78. Samsung did not provide a cause of death, but Lee had been incapacitated in a hospital since suffering a heart attack in 2014. During that time, he remained Samsung's chair. Lee, whose father founded Samsung, spent more than 3 decades leading the company, and he is credited with transforming it into a global brand that reached beyond South Korea, the Wall Street Journal notes. He was able to push the company into the number 1 position in television, smartphones, and memory chips, though his success did not come without controversy. He was convicted once for bribery and another time for embezzlement and tax evasion, but was pardoned both times. Lee is survived by his wife, son, and 2 daughters. This is according to the Wall Street Journal and The Verge. Number 9, first murder hornet nest discovered in U.S. removed. A team from the Washington State Department of Agriculture successfully removed the first Asian giant hornet nest found in the United States on Saturday, just 2 days after it was first located near Blaine, Washington, by entomologists. The mission involved vacuuming, quote, numerous specimens, end quote, out of the nest. The Asian giant hornets, known colloquially as, quote, murder hornets, end quote, began grabbing headlines late last year when they were discovered in Washington state. The 2-inch hornets are not native to the U.S., and there is concern they could wreak havoc on the nation's honey bee population if they establish themselves on the other side of the Pacific. Scientists expect that the recently eradicated nest is not the only one around. This is according to Fox News and CNN. Number 10, Rays draw even with Dodgers in World Series after wild Game 4 finish. The Tampa Bay Rays evened up the World Series against the Los Angeles Dodgers on Saturday evening with a stunning Game 4 victory. After a back-and-forth affair, Rays outfielder Brett Phillips, who had previously entered the game as a pinch runner, came up to the plate with runners on first and second and his club trailing 7-6 in the bottom of the 9th. He tied the game by lacing a 2-strike pitch from Dodgers closer Kenley Jansen into the center field, where Chris Taylor bobbled the ball, prompting Tampa Bay's Randy Arozarena to try to score from first. He stumbled while flying around third, but the relay throw got away from Los Angeles catcher Will Smith, and Arozarena dove safely into home for the win. The clubs will face off in Game 5 on Sunday night, with Clayton Kershaw taking the mound for the Dodgers. Tyler Glasnow will get the start for the Rays. This is according to ESPN. That's 10 things you need to know today for Sunday, October 25th, 2020. Thank you so much for listening. This has been What Makes You Smarter. I'm just trying to fill my head with current events, knowledge, and while I'm at it, might as well fill your head as well. But don't make me your only source of news. Make sure that you research and look up every footnote that I leave at the bottom of every news item. Yeah, do your own research. But if you like the sound of my voice, hey, follow me around. It's good. It's good. Also, if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast, What Makes You Famous. Find that everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. And if you want to watch me do a little gaming, Hey, I might play some games today. I might play some games tomorrow. Who knows? I'll stream some online games. Find me using the hashtag KeysDanGaming. Yeah, that's it for me. It's KeysDan, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com.